How's my hair?
It's
Are we on? Hey now.
Is this recording?
Welcome to the Real Estate Rundown. I'm Dustin DeHart with Keller Home Loans.
And yeah, Nick Lehman here with the Lehman Group at KW.
Good
Man,
to see you.
Good to see you.
Little boob flex there.
It's making it pop.
Yeah, usually charge for that. That one's free.
I had Farm
Nick.
Basket today, so it's not going to work.
Farm Basket, by the way, if you are not from Las Vegas, there's only one left.
We're down to one, but it's a good one.
It is. It is the best. Are you gobbler or clucker?
Today I went gobbler.
There you go.
Okay, but I do like cluckitos. Ironically, the first roll talk, cluckitos are chicken rolled taquitos.
Yeah.
First time I ever had those was actually at Farm Basket and not Roberto's.
Yeah. And Schlotsky's, by the way.
It's a blast.
I think there's only one left of those, and they're right by each other.
Charleston.
I know. What the hell's Charleston?
It's
Charleston. I had a friend that moved to in a town, and I was like, dude, you got to pick him up at Charleston, Maryland. And he he had those street names.
Did you save him in your phone as Charleston, Maryland, Charleston?
Flamino. It's right by over there by Flamino. Yeah. So, anyways, wow.
All right.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Good. It's
putting your dog down tomorrow. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Dude, it's been a rough. Personal life is not great. We're putting our dog of 17 years down tomorrow.
That sucks.
Teenagers are being teenagers, and I've been eating my feelings. So Monday, Pink Box Donuts In and Out. Tuesday, Domino's. And today, Farm Basket. So just living my best life here.
But you're working out, so you're fine.
It's fine. Net zero.
Yeah. If that's all you ate all day, remember, you're good.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's 2,000 calories per meal.
Yeah. So, no lipstick on this one.
That's good. Q1's over.
It is. How went quick. Can you believe it? Q1?
Pretty wild.
Q1 was decent for us. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But Q2 is building up to be really good.
Nice.
Q3, I mean, mortgage applications have gone up tremendously. Like 8 apps yesterday. We keep that pace up. We're going to be
8 in a day?
Only one today.
Was that in a 24-hour period?
It
or
was.
Like a work
they were coming in like we were trying to think of something funny, and I still can't. So
that's okay.
They were coming in live. The velocity was very high. I mean, it is busy. I mean,
Ricky Vaughn velocity.
Yes, Ricky Vaughn. I got in the office. I usually get in the office about 7:30. Right.
Okay.
That's usually late. It's about 7. And then today I got in at 5:30. That's a little too early. Let me tell you. But I feel like I just got into work too.
Okay,
so it's crazy.
That's how wild it is.
I know. And you're slamming and jamming.
Yeah,
right?
we we're slightly down for our goals for Q1, but we had an amazing March. So we closed 5 deals in March, which was ahead of the goal pace. We like to close about 4 to 5 a month. So we did well in March, but January, February was slow. But we're right back there. April's looking good. Showing a $2.5 million house today, $1 million house on Saturday.
Well, you just do one of those.
I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot of those.
You don't have to do 5. We have some clients that are looking, what are they, about 1.5 maybe?
Yeah, probably 1.2 to 1.5. And I found a nice one for them in Royal Highlands, Southern Highlands. And Royal Highlands is a community. So I'm going to show that Saturday.
Okay.
And super excited to.
Super excited I have a product for it now. Jumbo loan. I want to do a little less than 20% down, which I would have had to, had faked them before.
Was that your pump fake?
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I would have had to boom flex them or something and convince them to put 20% down. But no, look, we got them up to $1 million, and they can put 10% down. This is jumbo, so anything above 726,200, you want to throw the kicker in,
I like that.
is now jumbo. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go over $1 million. But he's got more than enough money. He just didn't want to tap into it.
They never always want to, tell you everything they have or grab it from all of the accounts. But I think.
But then the wife got involved.
Yeah, well, once they see the kitchen, difference between a 1.2 mil kitchen and a 1.5 kitchen. Yeah.
And
he'll find it.
He's a very well-off physician.
I
knew he had assets he forgot about somewhere. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Man. It's been busy. It's it's crazy though. The contracts are not coming in like they used to, right? Meaning. It's not as easy like, send a pre-approval letter out and you get a contract back in 2 days. it's getting a little more difficult right now. It's certainly changed from like 3 or 4 months ago. You know, I mean, I've got people going on their second or third offer, or the supply's low, so they just can't find anything.
Supply's really low.
It's wait till some more buyers come.
I know, and if the interest rate, for sure. No, it's definitely taking a little bit longer. I think both sets, you know, we have buyers and sellers, and both feel like they kind of have the goods.
Yeah.
So nobody's really willing to compromise.
Now.
You got a Wild West, the tumbleweeds blowing across. You know, who's gonna quick draw McGraw first?
Sure.
And it's taking a little bit of time for sure.
Yeah, and we'll give some updates on some data on what might break that stalemate here soon. Closed the deal on Monday. It was one of those deals where, you know, it was a tough one, and it just made you proud to get it done. First time home buyer, great girl. She was turned down by a lender previous to us.
Those are always fun.
I love those.
Yeah, get to be the hero.
Yes, and you know, look, it was not an easy deal, and I understand why not every underwriter is going to approve it, right? Okay. So income was the main thing, right? She had self-employed income for a few years, right?
Okay,
but it was declining, but not declining enough where we couldn't use it.
Sure.
But then she had a W-2 job she's only been on for 6 months. Right?
Okay.
Now the rule of thumb is you got to work 2 jobs for 24 months each to use that income.
Okay.
Now the theory behind that is like, you know, I got this job and it's not enough money, so let me go get another job for a month and then I'll quit.
And then
Right. So we didn't have the 24 months, but she's been in school for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
And the schooling is tied into the job she has now, and that's how we tied it in.
Okay.
And I did that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And my previous company, I had it approved with an underwriter.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we merged, and nice lady, I don't know where she went to, but God bless her.
Okay.
Unfortunately, boom, offer got accepted the week I started at the new company, right?
Okay.
And I had to do some convincing with that underwriter. She didn't agree with me, right? And gave me a credit denial. And then on a Friday, I emailed the top of the food chain, which, you know, kind of sucks. I'm already going above underwriting. But hey, we're officers.
You went in order.
We are loan officers.
That is true.
We have to fight for the law of mortgages and our clients, right?
But you went in order. You tried, and she denied you, and then
and I went up to the top and explained why it should be, and the CEO got involved and said, "Hey, can you look at this?" On a Saturday, and then by Monday, I had a nice email from the underwriter that goes, "I think we can make this work."
There you go.
But then it was then on top of that, we had more issues because it was one of those, hey, we're pushing to the last dollar on debt to income ratio.
Okay.
Our income was a little lower than the last one, so then the deal didn't work because she had to come in with more money to get the rate down and the MI, so they basically canceled. And I'm like, that's a bummer. But she understood, we'll go out and find another one.
Okay.
The seller was open door. And they go, wait a minute, why are you guys canceling? Right?
Imagine
Isn't that funny? And they go, well, what do you need to make it work? And I'm like, well, you could tell them if they drop the sales price 20 grand, we're good. And thinking that ain't going to happen. And literally a day later, boom, addendum.
Wow.
So she got the house 20 grand less, 3% in seller concessions from Open Door. Now, can you imagine me telling you that, 6 months ago, that Open Door would do that?
I mean, we saw what they posted for.
Yes, they're not oozing
lost a
profits
lot
right
of
now.
money. I mean, it's almost like you played a poker hand, and maybe you were doing it all intentionally.
I was thinking maybe we should do that on every deal. Right?
Maybe with at least every iBuyer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because they are definitely hurting. But but
it is kind of strange how things have changed, right? Will Open Door keep doing this? Because their model only works in a hot market, right?
So if we go a different direction,
right? I don't think I'll be getting those.
Is that some foreshadowing happening right there?
Maybe. Let's pull up a first chart. So I guess my question to everybody and what we've been saying, Nick, for a few months is we think maybe housing has maybe turning the corner, right?
We hit the bottom.
Yeah.
We've been saying it.
Right. So CoreLogic, and by the way, CoreLogic, they're not ever bullish on housing price, right? For years, they were always like, oh, they're going to go up 2%, right? They go up 12, right? So it's not like I'm using this data from CoreLogic.
The most conservative data.
Right. So look, for last month, and this is national, we went up 0.8%. Okay. Year over year, up 4.4%.
Yeah.
They think next month we'll be up 0.2%. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to think that's higher.
Okay.
And they've adjusted. They were at 3.2%, and they think we'll go up 3.7%.
Interesting.
Year over year. So, all right. So we can get rid of that one. So yeah, all the people screaming of that housing crash, right? I don't really see it, my brother.
No, not seeing it.
So one more chart if we can. This was interesting, right? So since the 2022 peak, right? First of all, we've gone down, according to Keller, 2.95%. Not that bad, right? And then you take FHFA, which doesn't take cash into account, it's only like 0.6%, right? But look at this. You take a 10-year snapshot, Dick, we're up. Like if you bought a house 10 years ago, you doubled your money.
You did.
Right?
Plus,
right. With a little vig in
little,
there,
yeah.
Right? And then if you bought 2 years ago before the peak, you pretty much did pretty all right.
You're all right.
40%. That's our big crash right there. That little whoop.
Down
right?
2.95.
Yeah.
That's our crash.
That's our crash.
That's almost like is that even a speed bump? Like what would you call that?
It's like a pimple, right?
It's ingrown hair.
Yeah, and like, Animal House, and it just got popped, and now it's about to go up again, right? So speaking of, I was going to do an Animal House joke, so I won't do. It really didn't work for what we were talking about. So what happens when rates go down, right? So how about this? Well, what's up with supply? One more chart, if we may. I think we have it.
We got charts for days
look
today.
at that. Like,
I know.
I mean, I don't smack you in the face. I will. Okay? So I'm being very aggressive today.
You are. You're pumped.
Look at this, dude. So normally, first of all, in 2017, we were complaining about supply, right?
We were.
We're at 1.5 million, right?
Yep.
Look at where we're at right now.
563,000 homes.
Right.
Literally,
doesn't sound like a lot, right? Yeah.
This is national. This is national. This is all over the United States,
but
not
what's
just
Las
here.
Vegas? 5,000.
We just dropped under 4,500.
Oh my God.
4,400 and change SFRs.
Right. Yeah. So very low inventory. In fact, DEFCON 1, I always thought it was DEFCON 5 was the worst.
It's 1?
It's 1.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been saying that crap for 20 years.
No one's corrected you.
Somebody finally corrected me, and I'm like, you're wrong. And I went and looked, and
Wow.
Yeah.
This just recently happened? They corrected you?
Yeah, it was like 6 months ago.
Okay.
So and I just caught myself. But so what happens when rates go down? All right, we can get rid of that slide. Well, they're going to come down. Right.
We know that.
And
it's coming.
It's because of inflation, which is coming down.
It is.
And there's that shelter component, which I'll hit in a rundown, which is lagging. And that's what hasn't really pushed us down. Today, again, was not a great ADP numbers, which is the forecast for Friday for the jobs report.
Right.
That looks like it's maybe a little clunker, right? Had a great week this week for interest rates.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, I'm telling you, in May, like I keep saying,
it's coming.
Pop some bottles, baby.
It's my birthday.
Yeah,
month,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
We're popping
more
bottles.
More than one reason to celebrate.
And so we're a lot of buyers because we're there. First of all, in May, what happens? We get busy anyway.
It's just natural.
Right?
Like school's getting ready to come to an end, so you have the school year that does its own driving. Weather's nice.
Yeah.
People in these winter locations can finally
Kids
list
are out of
their
school,
home.
right? Yeah.
All the mountain homes can go up for sale. Like there's a lot of things that start to happen in May that drive it anyways.
Sure.
Regardless of all these other variables.
And you couple that with all of a sudden the media going, oh my God, rates are as low as they've been. And
we've dropped so much that's coming. Right.
Yeah. So look, I don't see the craziness that we had.
Okay.
But boy, I'll tell you what, I don't see Open Door dropping 20 grand in sales price really soon.
No.
Or giving 3% seller concessions.
For sure. And funny, I just got in a contract 2 days ago with a Lennar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
that's a guy.
Lennar is the builder.
But with Dr. Horton, right? No joke.
Yeah,
Stop. Come on, my jokes only get worse from here.
No,
sorry.
But to your point, I was able to negotiate 15 grand off of their base price.
Yeah.
So here's a home that's going to be ready in May,
Yeah.
and they got it advertised at, like 454. Like
Yeah.
we ended up getting 3% concessions instead of 1%. We got 4.99 locked with in-house. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No,
but then we were able to
Yep.
just offer, hey, I want to offer 427 flat, and they took it. So again, you got open door, these iBuyers negotiating left and right. I still have builders negotiating left and right. And the second this turns or the media changes their tune, you're not going to have these options.
But you're not.
These
it's going to get crazy. All right, let's hit the rundown. We know what the rundown is, right?
We do. Let's just go right there. Shelter CPI.
Boom. If I don't mention CPI in one show, then something's wrong. So here's what I love. That there was, I saw an article yesterday. I've never heard of this guy, but he's a billionaire. Barry Sternlicht. You ever heard of him?
No, never.
The dude's on the money. He's like, inflation is about to drop hard as rents and housing prices tank.
Okay.
He goes, it's coming in the next couple months. He's warned, basically saying the Fed doesn't know how to really read this.
Yeah, right.
Overdoing everything, like we've said time and time again. So let me put that slide back up, Rick. So the core shelter costs, right? So that's it right now, right? So real shelter costs at 3%, right?
Okay.
But there's that lag. And if the CPI is at 8.1, now we're about to start crossing over, right?
Yep.
And again, it's going to, next month will be okay. But the following month with the April's report in May is going to replace a huge number. And I'm telling you, the inflation's really going to start coming down, because if you took the real inflation, because the core rate, by the way, which is the Fed's favorite way to read this, because it strips out energy and food, which they can't control, it would be 3.3% instead of 5.5%. So take that and do what you want with it.
Yeah.
But the point is, the shelter component, we all know since the peak, it's been coming down. Like rents are not that elevated anymore. Home prices have come down.
For sure.
Right. So it is coming, people. Look, there's, again, inflation is too much money taking too few of goods.
Right.
The supply chain issues have been worked out.
They're fixed.
And there ain't too much money. Deposits have gone down tremendously. So inflation's getting under wrap. We're going to start seeing some lower interest rates very soon. So hallelujah to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best thing I've ever said.
Super excited.
At least 25 minutes. So that doesn't pump you up. I don't know what
No,
will.
we're going to keep along the same line. So fear.
Here we go. Fear. All
so if you, these are headlines from November.
Yeah.
Look at that. Here we got CBS News. Prices are going to plunge 20%. Dallas Fed. Fortune magazine. There are now 2010 U.S. housing at risk. 15% down. Yeah. Oh, this is just negative. And what we have to understand is what we're talking about. There are no homes.
Right.
So the second, I think we have a second slide here about, there we go. Look at this. So this was all said in November. I just want to recap everybody what happened in the last 12 months. This is year over. Sure. Q1, all the numbers are now posted. So this is January by region is what we did here. Okay. If you recall, we talked about Las Vegas. Right. We were a net zero.
Sure.
But
we went way up more than,
and we'll get
right,
there.
Right,
I have more slides. We got slides for days today, but Pacific region, 0. The rest of the country, look at the national average up there in the top right, 5.3%.
Yeah.
If you were look at the South Atlantic, but the South is
if you're in that bracket, you're busted, right?
So, you had a near 10% appreciation, which, again, people, they can't grasp. We still are in a housing shortage. The data is the data. It is here. The second we lower interest rates, it's
now the demand.
Back. Which will do what to pricing? You're not going to get these iBuyer concessions. You're not going to get these builder concessions.
Yeah, Dr. Horton's not going to play ball anymore.
And his brother Toll.
Or Woodside. Sorry, boy, builder jokes.
No, builders for days are going to stop negotiating as far as you getting a better deal on price.
Oh, I'm surprised
concessions will come down.
Yet.
I honestly was surprised with the contract just a couple days ago. But let's go to rent a mega mansion.
All right.
Oh,
we had another slide.
Oh, way to go, I went
Rick.
way over.
How dare you?
No, that was me.
Right.
So that I was zooming in city-wise here. to show you what was happening in the top 20 major cities in the United States. So Vegas, 0.04, we already knew that. But look at the West Coast over there.
Yeah.
Negative 7% in San Fran.
Yeah.
First time ever, if we could go, that was the first time ever, guys. I apologize that I went over on my time. First time this has happened.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Dustin, I apologize.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Where's our mega mansion? There it is. Look at that bad boy.
Wow.
Well, we all know where that's at, right?
We do.
That house, by the way, 2.2 acres. So nice set of land there. It's 15,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's bowling alley, 18 car garage, right? I'm surprised it didn't
That's
go
necessary.
19, but anyways.
Why not 20?
I know, right? Gym, outdoor sports court, a pizza oven, 50 plus foot full pool, spa, the whole 9 yards, right? Well, it was bought in 2020 for $11 million, which seems like a pretty good deal, right? I think they're trying to sell for $20 million.
They put it right back up.
Right. So
Okay.
I think maybe it's not getting a whole lot of action. So you can actually rent that bad boy for 100
Stop
G-bombs a month.
100 grand a month.
100 grand a month. And it actually seems like a pretty good deal.
Can you go
right?
month to month, or like how long's the lease?
Well,
gotta be?
as long as your credit's okay, right? We were saying like Jimmy G would be perfect in that house, right? Like that dude won the gene lottery, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
he did.
SOB.
You think Jimmy G and Negative Neil could bunk
dude,
up?
you know what? There wouldn't be a ladies safe in town if them two rented that place. Just hide your children and wives, and oh
your
my God, it's
husbands,
all
too.
over with. So, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting. That I guess the next highest price rent is like 26,000. So
Wow.
man, they're going.
So it goes from
this dude-
100 G's.
Oh, and you mentioned San Francisco. I guess the guy that owned that does live in San Francisco.
he got out.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a little, they still think prices are way high.
They-
He
yeah.
didn't see our slide.
He didn't see the slide.
All right.
We didn't
Women's
either.
basketball.
Okay, like
Nanny,
first
nanny,
of all,
boo-boos.
did you see
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
this is getting talked about, which is honestly great because. WNBA has
flashing a
not
gang
been.
sign right there?
She's doing the ring. It's I won.
I got
It's
you.
my ring. It's about to go on this finger. But this is Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark has been this kind of like sniper phenomenon that
Yeah.
has got this buzz going about women's college basketball. She's incredible. She dropped she had like 2 or 3 40-point games, just pulling up from half court, just getting this huge buzz.
Yeah.
Well, she starts it a couple games ago and does the "you can't see me" gesture as she's walking away, kind of talking smack. In the Final Four game, the center for South Carolina has the ball at the top of the key, and she like shoos her away like you ain't gonna shoot that, and just like completely leaves her all alone. To which the center did not shoot the ball.
Right.
Well, LSU dominates the game. Iowa got in foul trouble. Angel Reese now does the "you can't see me, look at my ring," and kind of follows her all around the
It's
court.
like you just won the net. Yeah, it's like this is in game.
To kind of give it back to her. And I was like, and all of a sudden people have this problem with it, and it's getting this huge national attention. And I'm like, wait a minute, this girl for Iowa just.
Oh, you're on that side.
I'm
Okay.
on the
Okay.
first, what the side I'm on is like, I think maybe it was
I don't know
conspired.
what side I'm on. You're selling me here. Keep
Okay,
going. All right.
I like the buzz at all because women's basketball isn't talked about
I
hardly
know. I
ever.
had no idea they were even
So
playing. I'm
the
just
fact
joking.
that I was interested in watching the game,
Right,
the
that
buzz
was more
is
popular
happening.
than the men's.
It was.
I know. It's
It
crazy.
really
I'm
was
like, what am I
because,
missing?
The narrative is awesome as far as like drawing the eyeball. So I don't know if it was intentional or not. Either way,
Well,
it's
I think
good.
it was the whole fact that the game was over. It was a blowout. It's like, that's, you know what I mean? I guess when you're in the middle of a game and you're pumped up, then you do that
I feel
stuff.
ya. Yeah.
You know, she was getting blown out. They just lost the national championship. So that's where the unsportsman.
I get it. I kind of dug it. I love Chad Ochocinco.
Cool.
I love Terrell Owens.
Yeah, but they're both going to the White House, so they
are
both got
going.
invited, winner and loser.
I don't know what.
That's what. Yeah, they're going to invite the loser
That's
now.
an and.
Yeah,
I don't
anyways,
know.
we're going over again.
All right, avoid 5 things.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, believe it or not, there's some do's and don'ts when you get your loan pre-approved.
Listen, this is important
before
to talk
you go buy a house, right? And I've seen it all, but here are some main ones. Don't go and get new credit, right? A hard inquiry could hurt your score.
That's bad.
All right. And don't go rack up your credit cards, right? If you go over
Also
30%, your score is gonna come down.
Say that again, because a lot of people don't understand.
About 30%.
30%
That's
threshold.
you want to keep them under that. But
For sure.
That's kind of where the worst case scenario you need to be at, right? Monitor your credit, right? You on Credit Karma, great. If all of a sudden a collection pops up, well, let me know, right?
Sure.
And again, credit's good for 90 days, but sometimes we have to repull credit depending on when you find that house. Here's one you'd think everybody would know. Don't switch jobs, right? Meaning, look, and you can't, if you're W-2 and all of a sudden you're going to go become I'm going to start out my own business. That ain't going to work.
That,
but believe it or not, you'd think people would know that. But I lost a deal 2 months ago. The dude, 2 weeks before he got in the contract, he quit his job and thought we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, and
really?
Well, needless to say, we couldn't close that loan. And don't put large deposits in the bank, right?
But I hit a royal flush.
Well, no, you haven't. I heard you now. I go, you just got to keep trying, Nick.
I haven't.
But yeah, all of these not necessarily deal killers, but they could be, especially, switching your job may not be if it's the same line of work, but let us know. Don't do anything crazy. I could do another rundown next week on the craziest stories that I've had.
That could be a fun segment.
All right.
500K. Yeah, look, so we threw out a lot of stats, a lot of percentages, and so I was trying to make it just tangible for people to digest a little bit easier. So this is a hypothetical of if you bought a home at $500,000 price in January 1st of last year.
Yep.
So here is the rise and the fall, a tale of two halves, if you want to Charles Dickens it a little bit. But basically, our peak was about June. That same $500,000 house would have been worth about $545,000, to which then came the speed bump, or the ingrown hair, as we called it, and you would have dropped all the way down to $529,000. Now, this is a national average, so what do we know as far as here, local Las Vegas? That same $500,000 house that you bought in 22 would now be worth $500,000 also in today, or January of 23. Now, for the people that bought in June at that $545,000 inflated price, and your home is now worth $500,000, you are upside down. That is correct. That is about a 10% adjustment. And if you go now to sell your home, you have about 8% in fees, which is the 20% that some of those people were talking about. Now, there isn't an additional 20% that is coming in 23. Hasn't happened. It already sort of happened if you sell from buying in
hopefully
June.
You didn't buy to sell, right?
That would not be ideal, for sure.
Right, but the preponderance of people, chin up, because you're going to be all right.
Yeah, we just keep
Ride
swimming.
It out, you'll be fine.
For sure. So if you bought in June, don't sell now. No, you could be 20% up, which is essentially 12, the market, and then you're 8% in fees.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And again, at the end of the day, it's not that bad, right? Yes. People bought at the top are going to get hurt a little more, right?
In 6 months,
but
what
that's
were you
kind of
thinking
anything if you bought a stock at the top,
for sure.
Right? So that's just called.
Just got to hang on a little bit longer, or take your, take it now, and then know that we're about to go back up, especially when rates come down. Like, it's going to go back up, and you'll catch it on the backside.
Who doesn't love catching it on the backside, bro? It's about time you said that. Jeez.
Man, all right.
Boy, oh boy. Well, what do you got? Any good listings or anything you wanted to promote?
We're honestly pretty much in contract. I got 2 listings I have one guy in that same situation where he literally bought June.
Why is he selling?
He got an awesome job opportunity.
Gotcha.
He's going back to California.
Can't he rent it out? Or?
It's an option. He'd prefer to sell. But something interesting, did you hear about the new California DPA program?
The new California one?
Yeah, so California, check this out. I think a lot more states or municipalities are going to jump on this, but they're doing a 20% down. Okay?
Okay.
Then they get 50% of the equity when you sell.
Oh, okay.
So think about that, process that. So like here, somebody doesn't have the down, or they need a portion of the down. They're going to give you up.
Investor.
You have an investor essentially. They're going to give you up to 20% of the down payment assistance, and then they piggyback. You pay for it. You maintain it all thing. You go to sell.
Yeah,
you
I don't know if I like
200
that.
grand. I think it's interesting for the state.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say, as a buyer, I don't want that.
I mean, it depends on which way you want to
process go with my
it.
down payment assistance, right?
For sure.
Where it literally will go away at a certain point.
The 20% is interesting because then they're going to get rid of the MI.
I've heard of something like that a while back. I
just started. Literally April 1 in California. That's going down.
Yeah, this
right now.
was more of an investor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that went nowhere. But good for California.
Well, I mean, I think
they're
you'll
broke,
see.
So, now they're investing in real estate. Yeah. Then they know, look, San Francisco went down 8%, you know? So, go jump on that. Get a 20% down on that. $2 million
I mean, if you're
house.
renting though, is 0% of equity better than half?
Certainly. I mean, it would work for some, but I don't know. That is interesting.
We got 20 seconds to wrap this up.
We really don't. How do they get a hold of you, Nick?
Best way to get a hold of me is my direct cell 702-289-5200. Call, text anytime. Dustin, how about you?
There. And that look at me. I don't look so happy. They get a hold of me at. Look, do I look happy? I don't know. I look weird.
It's like a smirk.
What is that? Yeah, I don't smile well. 702-217-3009. Good to see you, my brother.
Man. Yeah.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.